Honorable Francis Hardaleza, Honorable Vicente V. Mendoza, Honorable Shelito Mindaro Grulla, Professor Edgardo Carlo Vistan II, Professor Rafael A. Morales, Professor Concepcion Hardaleza, Professor Jacqueline Joyce F. Espanilla, Professor Emerson Banez, Professor Paulo Emanuel S. Tamase. A pleasant morning to you all, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Michiko Palaran, and I am currently a third-year Juris Doctor student of the UP College of Law, and I'll be your host this morning. Welcome to the Philippine Law Journal Induction and Turnover Ceremony. Though most are joining us only virtually, we are grateful that we are able to gather today for the journal's induction ceremony. The Philippine Law Journal is the oldest law review in the Philippines and the oldest English language law journal in Asia. Today, we witness a transition to another term and the continuity of a historic institution that has guided legal practitioners for over a century. Before we formally begin today's program, let us all stand for the Philippine National Anthem to be led by the UP Law Charivari.
Bayang magiliw, sa silanganan, alab ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyang ka ng magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisihin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bughaw, nagilag ang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kisap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagniningning, ang bituin at araw ng kailan, pag may magdidilim, lupa ng araw ng ating pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya ng may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Thank you, UP Law Charivari. To give his opening remarks, we have Dean Edgardo Carlo L. Vistan II. Dean Vistan obtained his Bachelor of Science degree in Molecular Biology and Biotechnology in the University of the Philippines, graduating cum laude. He took up his Bachelor of Laws degree in the same university and graduated cum laude and class valedictorian in 2003. While in law school, he worked as a court legal researcher and later on as acting branch clerk of court for branch 227 of the Regional Trial Court in Quezon City. He was previously with the Ponce, Enrile, Reyes, and Manalastas law offices, the then Andres Marcelo Padernal Guerrero and Paras law offices, and the Bengzon law firm. At present, he has his own practice and handles mostly litigation and election cases. Further, he teaches at the Angeles University Foundation School of Law and is the current Dean of the University of the Philippines College of Law. Proceeding with today's special event, please join me in welcoming the Dean of the UP College of Law, Professor Edgardo Carlo Vistan II, to give us his opening remarks.
Thank you, Ms. Palaran. Retired Justice Vicente V. Mendoza and his lovely wife, thank you for gracing this occasion. Our keynote speaker, also retired Supreme Court Justice Francis H. Hardaleza, and also, of course, Ma'am Chit Hardaleza. Thank you for attending. The other members of Class 1974 who are collectively the alumni advisors of the Philippine Law Journal, or PLJ. Part of that is our keynote speaker, Justice Francis Hardaleza. our the PLJ's faculty advisor, Rafael A. Morales, and retired Justice Shelito Mindaro Grulla. Other members of the College of Law faculty in attendance, the staff of the UP Law Complex, students, PLJ alumni, and members of the current editorial board, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant morning to you all, and welcome to the Philippine Law Journal's induction and turnover ceremony for the incoming Volume 96 editorial board. As I opened the last year's induction and turnover ceremony, almost a week, short of a week, and exactly it would have been 1 year ago. Let me again first congratulate the 10 students who made it to the new editorial board. They are led by Bianca Marie J. Angela M. Ranyola. Can we give her a round of applause? The Vice Chair, Robert M. Sanders Jr. And the other members of the editorial board, Iñaki Angelo Mangahas, Vince Alvic Alexis F. Nonato, Troy John G. Butak, Maria Isabel R. Canyaveral, Mika Andrea O. Ramirez, Katrina K. N. Estrada, Jan Aurel Nicolay M. Castro, and Luis Alfonso F. Manlangit. Again, congratulations for a job well done in the editorial exam. Let me also congratulate our outgoing or former editorial board of Volume 95, led by Liam Calvin, Joshua C. Lu as chair, and Vince Alvic, Alexis F. Nonato as vice chair. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you and the rest of the editorial board of Volume 95 for your hard work and with your engagement with me in trying to bring about improvements in the PLJ as an institution. To editorial board, savor this moment. Enjoy, as I was telling you earlier. Enjoy this opportunity to celebrate your individual and collective achievement of emerging as the top 10 among many aspirants who went through the rigorous competitive examinations given by our examination committee. That was a tough committee. It was led by Professor Dante B. Gatmaitanas chair and comprised of Professor Rafi Morales here, Professor Romel J. Casis, Professor Jacqueline Joyce F. Espinilla, who joined us this morning, Professor Paulo Emanuel S. Tamase, who is also with us here this morning. As I was telling you, savor this moment because, as you probably know by now, what is in store for you as members of the PLJ editorial board is challenging work as you strive to achieve timeliness in publication, improve quality and readership, and move forward in your quest for digitization. These are typical or regular challenges of the PLJ editorial board, and they are hard enough for students like you who are, after all, also dealing with the challenges of finishing in this law school. That is why I understood early on, and especially after talking and working with the past editorial boards and PLJ alumni, that to ask more of you would not be realistic. However, even as we accept this fact that I just mentioned, and I hope you take this not as a critique but as an admonition or an encouragement to strive more and to do more for our beloved Philippine Law Journal, I believe that we must also recognize and accept the fact that more is being asked of the Philippine Journal as a publication and as an institution. I think that you will agree with me that despite the talent and hard work of any PLJ editorial board, the prevailing standard of being an indexed journal or a recognized journal requires more than what the capacities of the PLJ can deliver. This is a long discussion that I will not engage in right now, but the issue can be reduced to two things: resources and continuity. To the current editorial board and perhaps to the PLJ alumni, believe me that the resources part is easy enough to solve. It is the continuity part that requires far-reaching changes that require you, our PLJ editorial board, to make or accept structural changes in the PLJ. Many of the demands of being a world-class index journal cannot be met without an adequate and permanent or dedicated editorial and support staff. Things that the PLJ has, but in short quantity, if I may say so. Having such a staff complement will give the PLJ the continuity in operations that it needs to address the challenges that other law journals address on a daily and continuing basis. If I may just suggest, one way to address this is for the editorial board to consider expanding the student involvement in the PLJ beyond the board itself. I believe you're doing that. I think you have interns. The current chair I heard earlier was an intern. But maybe perhaps make the PLJ akin to other student organizations that accepts members to bolster its editorial staff. No exams, just interest in learning how to be editors or how to be writers. And of course, the editorial board could be the officers of that organization that would still be selected through the same examination process we have today. But then you will have other fellow students to share the workload with and who could work with the PLJ across different editorial boards. Future editorial board members could emerge from the membership of the organization, and they would be not only knowledgeable, but more experienced in the workings of the PLJ. If we add more and dedicated non-student staff to bolster the PLJ, then we would have already imbued our journal publication with the continuity in operations that it needs. This will allow editorial boards to realistically plan for issues beyond the volume that they are tasked to come out with and publish issues on time, a standard which should be considered non-negotiable. So as you, our new PLJ editorial board, strive to make your mark in the issues that you will release, allow me to impart this advice and suggestion. The best mark or legacy that you could leave as the new editorial board may be the needed structural changes in the PLJ itself. I challenge and call on our new editorial board to think beyond the issues you are obliged to publish and consider what has to be done to improve the PLJ as an institution. But in any case, please know that the College of Law faculty and alumni, as well as the UP Law Complex administration, are here to support you. Know that the UP Law community constantly has the best interests of the Philippine Law Journal in mind. Again, welcome everyone and thank you for joining us for this ceremony of the Philippine Law Journal. Mabuhay kayong lahat, lalong-lalo na ang ating bagong PLJ Editorial Board. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you very much, Dean Bistan, for welcoming our guests today. I'm sure the Volume 96 board will bank on these words for their upcoming term, Dean. Amid the COVID-19 pandemic, the Philippine Law Journal has not failed to continue its work and to contribute to the discourse of legal issues that affect our country today. For this achievement, we congratulate the outgoing editorial board of Volume 95 for their hard work and effort in making this happen. As we begin to turn over the leadership and responsibilities of the journal, Let us welcome Mr. Liam Calvin Joshua C. Lu, Chair of Volume 95. Mr. Lu finished his Juris Doctor degree and ranked as the 30th out of 211 graduates from the class of 2022 of the UP College of Law. He was also awarded the Vicente V. Mendoza Prize for Best Review of Supreme Court Decisions for his supervised legal research entitled Revisiting RARO, Occupational Diseases, Impossible Conditions, and Social Insurance and Employees' Compensation. He served as a member of the editorial board of the Philippine Law Journal Volume 94 and the chairman of Volume 95. He is currently an underbar associate at Cruz Marcelo and Peña Francia. Let us give him a warm round of applause.
Thank you for the introduction, Michiko. Supreme Court Justices Vicente V. Mendoza and Francis H. Hardelesa, CTA Justice Shelito Mindaro Grulia, Dean Edgardo Vistan, who just left, Associate Dean Solomon Lumba, who is not here apparently, Faculty Advisor Attorney Rafael Morales, members of the family of Justice Alex Reyes, distinguished faculty of the college, and fellow students of the law. Good day to you all. We are gathered here today, as we do every year, to mark another milestone in the history of the college, as 10 students take on the momentous responsibility of managing our beloved law journal. It is a responsibility, as Dean Vistan said, that will weigh heavily on your shoulders. But it is also a testament to the trust and confidence that the college and its faculty reposes on its students. Managing the law journal is no doubt an exercise of our cardinal values, honor and excellence. We have achieved a whole lot in the past year, and I hope you will indulge me as I take my and my board's victory lap, so to speak. But we are one step closer to making the Philippine Law Journal competitive on a global scale. In coordination with Dean Vistan, we have begun a process towards instituting a new set of rules that would crystallize some of the long-standing practices of the journal and update some of its other operations. In this manner, we may hope to exercise the perennial problem of delays in the publication of our issues. We hope to build a board that is both nurturing to the growing field of legal academia and is responsive to the challenges faced by all law journals in the 21st century. In this regard, we have also begun to explore the possibility of including a peer review component in the way that the editorial board assesses its submissions, in line with best practices from other jurisdictions. It is always useful to seek counsel from the experts, and it is hoped that this project will further refine our internal procedures. We will never sacrifice the long-held tradition of the student-run law journal, but we hope to supplement it in order to raise the quality of our publication. We have also begun the process of renovating our office, the Alex Reyes Room, on the 3rd floor of Malcolm Hall. Through the efforts of our generous benefactors, the family of the room's namesake, Justice Alex A. Reyes, our storied home will have a new look, worthy of and useful to a world-class law journal. I would like to recognize in particular Justice Hardelesa for making this project come to fruition. My board has also introduced a 20,000 word limit for submissions, in keeping with international convention. Our articles are meant to be read, not merely to be displayed, and conciseness helps readers in accessing even the most esoteric fields of law. We hope to avoid the dreaded phenomenon of article bloat and encourage brevity in our authors. On the same topic, it is not enough that our journal is published promptly and regularly, but it must be relevant to the times and the circumstances. Ours is a publication that has influenced policy and the law on a national scale. Where courts are wont to innovate for fear of judicial legislation, our journal lies on the bleeding edge of the law, continually pushing the envelope in the way of change and reform. But for the longest time, and I have to admit, we have faced a crisis of legitimacy, where our journal was hardly cited in any other material. But now I am proud to say that our slump is nearing its conclusion. Last September 29, an article from Volume 93, penned by a member of our faculty, our very own Dr. Joseph Angeles, was instrumental in the issuance of a DOJ opinion, positing that the constitutional Philippinization requirement for sensitive industries does not apply to the exploration, development, and utilization of renewable energy resources. This is proof positive that at the highest echelons of policy making, the journal is still making its mark. These achievements and reforms would not have been possible were it not for the people who have assisted us in our work. Of the litany of people I wish to thank, I would like to mention in particular, first, Dean Vistan, who has been receptive to our plan of reform and always been supportive of the journey, of the journal. To our faculty advisor, Attorney Rafael Morales, whose counsel we have relied upon in our most consequential decisions. Tita Army, who has been an invaluable help in our day-to-day operations. And Attorney Paolo Tomase, who showed us the ropes when my Greenhorn board was still figuring out the ways of our journal. To the incoming editors, you carry the name and reputation of the college and are to continue more than 100 years of tradition. Certainly you may feel a sense of dread, a sense of anxiety, and a sense of apprehension. God knows I felt the same way when I was announced to be the chair of the editorial board. I would wonder whether my appointment was really a fluke, whether there was merely a mistake in the tabulation of the results, and whether I really deserved to serve in the editorial board of the oldest English language law journal in Asia. But to the incoming board, I would just like to say, and I want you to know, that you are where you are because of your merits, and your merits alone. By way of competitive examination, you have demonstrated that you possess the skills necessary to direct the board's operations ably and reliably. To my successor, Bianca Ranyola, I know you to be a prudent and competent person. I would not leave the keys to the journal to anyone else. But do know that your alumni will always be there ready to support and assist you. As I pass on the torch to the next board, I only hope that my term will be looked upon favorably in the future. I am immensely grateful for the opportunity to serve the journal and my college. In the same way, I only wish the best for the next board. I know that you will surpass us and bring the journal to new heights. Thank you very much, and a good morning to all.
Thank you, Mr. Lu, for your speech. And again, congratulations for the remarkable achievements of the journal's Volume 95 editorial board. At this point, we proceed to the formal induction of the journal's editorial board for Volume 96. To facilitate this, may we call on the Philippine Law Journal's faculty advisor, Professor Rafael Morales, and the members of the Philippine Law Journal's Volume 96 editorial board to proceed on stage to take their oath.
Please raise your right hands and repeat after me. We, the chairman, vice chairman, members of the Philippine Law Journal, Volume 96, editorial board, accept full responsibility for the timely publication of 4 quarterly issues of Volume 96 of the Philippine Law Journal. according to the high standards of academic legal writing of the University of the Philippines College of Law. We shall devote our time and energy to fulfill this responsibility during our term and beyond. And contribute our talents and skills in the pursuit of honor and excellence in legal research and scholarship. So help us God. Congratulations.
Congratulations to the journal's editorial board for Volume 96. We now invite the chair of PLJ Volume 96, Ms. Bianca Marie J. Angela M. Ranyola, to deliver her message on behalf of the newly inducted members of the journal.
Mr. Justice Francis Hardeleza, Mr. Justice Vicente V. Mendoza, Madam Justice Felito Grulia of the Court of Tax Appeals, Dean Carlo Vistan, Professor Rafael Morales, other distinguished faculty members and alumni of the UP College of Law, guests and fellow students of the college, good morning. It is every UP Law student's dream to be able to live up to the words in marble just outside this theater. But for the Philippine Law Journal Student Editorial Board, which has taken up the task of continuing the tradition of the institution, the phrase "the grand manner" takes on an additional meaning. It is not just a motto, it is a mandate. The Volume 96 board follows in the footsteps of giants. I mean this not just in the sense that the journal has the most impressive lineup of alumni editors in its arsenal, but also in that collectively, each board has brought its own unique contribution to the journal's success and stellar reputation. And so, it is an understatement to say that assuming this mandate is daunting. Now, with 95 volumes preceding ours, it seems much easier to reflect on the past than to envision the future. We have inherited the duty of serving as a handmaiden of jurisprudence and a vehicle for education. We do this not only by publishing issues that reflect the quality of the journal that it has been known for over 100 years, but in two other ways. First, Oscar Franklin Tan, chair of the Volume 79 board, wrote that the board's job is not complete until the journal is in the reader's hand. Thus, distribution of the journal, both online and offline, is high on our list of priorities. We aim to ensure that the journal's website is accessible by everyone, regardless of where they may be, and that as students return to Malcolm Hall and BGC, we too return to the practice of distributing physical copies to them. We also aim to increase access, especially for the students of the college's newly opened Iloilo campus. Second, we carry out our duty by bearing the task of introspection, examining the internal practices of the board and fine-tuning them to better serve the journal's goals. The editorial boards before us know all too well the delicate balance we must strike between tradition and innovation, and they have all had to grapple with challenges unique to the journal. The perennial problem of lack of continuity between boards is one such challenge which has plagued the management and administration of the journal since even before its centennial. Another challenge is the dream to elevate the journal to the status that is equal to its peers abroad. These are obstacles that the previous boards were determined to hurdle, and the Volume 96 board is ready to continue what they started. We do not commit to a single elaborate plan, but we move forward with the recognition that while big problems require big solutions, the best way to do this is to institute small but meaningful changes within the board. These are changes that the public will not necessarily be privy to, but the board is confident that eventually they will translate into an improvement in the overall quality of the journal. In the end, we hope to come out stronger as an institution. There are only 10 members in the editorial board at any given time, but what not everyone sees is the community of alumni editors behind them, ready to give their steadfast support at all times. We have our esteemed Justices Hardeleza and Mendoza, who have so graciously given their time to be with us, not just today, but through the years of the journal's existence. Faculty members, Professor Rafi Morales and Professor Paulo Tamase, to name a few, have also been instrumental in the success of each board, especially in the recent years. I would also like to thank the college and Dean Vistan for the assistance, which was always readily extended to the journal when needed, as well as the family of Justice Alex Reyes, who have committed to renovating the PLJ room. Of course, the publication and distribution of the journal would not be possible without Tita Army Crisostomo, the journal's administrative assistant. Lastly, addressing the problem of lack of continuity means being ready to take the reins from the previous board in whatever form. We are lucky to succeed the Volume 95 board, headed by Chair Liam Lu, whose guidance we appreciate greatly. The Volume 96 board has a long way to go. We cannot hope to achieve the excellence the journal is known for overnight. Instead, we fully commit to our duties and aspire for excellence in every little task we perform and every little decision we make. Because while the grand manner connotes immensity, at the end of the day, it is attention to detail that is the core of our duty. And our firm commitment to this is proof that the student editor's work is the grand manner in action. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you, Ms. Ranyola. We are confident that the editorial board of Volume 96 is more than capable to continue the excellence and legacy of the Philippine Law Journal today. Honorable guests, I would now like to introduce our keynote speaker this morning. In 1970, he graduated from the University of the Philippines, Iloilo, with a degree of Bachelor of Arts, major in Political Science, as the most outstanding graduate. He then took up his Bachelor of Laws at the University of the Philippines College of Law, where he became the Vice Chairman of the Philippine Law Journal in 1973, and authored the publication on Justice Fernando's method in constitutional cases. He graduated salutatorian and cum laude from the class of 1974 and placed third in the bar examinations of the same year with the rating of 88.35%. He then proceeded to take his LLM degree at Harvard Law School. He has demonstrated exemplary work and service in the academe, in private practice, and in the government. He is the 173rd Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the Philippines and is currently the head of the International and Maritime Law Section of the Philippine Judicial Academy. In 2021, he was given the University of the Philippines Alumni Association Lifetime Distinguished Achievement Award, conferred to alumni with exceptional achievements and outstanding contributions to the university. Everyone, I am honored to welcome former Associate Justice of the Supreme Court and Solicitor General Francis H. Hardeleza. Let us give him a warm round of applause.
Thank you, Michiko. Up to a few years ago, I used to call all the students here Miss or Mister, because that is what I was used to a long, long time ago. So now, I think in my classes now, I use the first name. Good morning. First of all, I would like to thank former Justice of the Supreme Court, Vicente V. Mendoza. He is my idol. He is my leading light. I have a gift. We have a small gift for the incoming and the outgoing board. I have a small volume on judicial review. We will give it to you afterwards. Please read it because it is Justice Vic Mendoza who wrote the foreword. And we are happy that Mrs. Mendoza is here with us. And I'm also very happy that we have members of the faculty, Jackie and Paulo, and where is Emer? Okay. Emer, did I miss anybody else? Of course, I cannot miss my wife, no? For hearing, I always say, here in the College of Law, kahit ano sabihin nyo, mga ano, I am known only here as the husband of Ma'am Chit. And then, of course, I have to acknowledge the members of my class, no? The class of 74. Rafi Morales, you know him, is your faculty advisor. And with us is Justice Silito Mindaro Grulia, formerly of the Court of Tax Appeals. He is now with the Judicial Integrity Board. Okay, the Judicial Integrity Board is now in charge of the discipline of members of the judiciary. So kung maging huwes na kayo, mag-ingat kayo, baka manligaw kayo, o ano kayo. You remember, that's Justice Silito, baby to us. Now, did I miss any other members of the faculty? No. Now, permit me to acknowledge also from the members of the Reyes family. No? I think May Serrano is here. Okay, May, can you please stand up? That's May Serrano. Okay. And then the family of Mitzi is here. Mitzi is here. Professor, can you please stand up? Mitzi Reyes and Professor Joseph Reyes and daughter. Is she the architect? Okay. Now they are the apo na, no? Apo of our first editor-in-chief of the Philippine Law Journal, Alex Reyes. Okay, remember the name, ha? Alex Reyes. Mga apo na ito ni Alex Reyes. They are going to refurbish the... Hindi lang ako marunong. May sent me a presentation. Hindi ako marunong but we can share it later on with the... And this has been approved, no? By the university kasi maraming recubicos ngayon. Because you can have a room refurbished, you have to get clearance, and one of the grandchildren of Alex Reyes is now a architect, no? Architect. And so she is doing her granddad the big favor so that your room will be a better place to when you do your work, no? Now, and then of course to the parents, no? Napakaswerte po ninyo. Nung kami po ay nag-law journal, wala pa po ng katulad nitong tipon-tipon, no? The first, if I may share, in 2 years' time, kami po ni Rafi at kami ni Baby, we are going to celebrate our 50th year of graduation. So, Imagine, I don't think any of you were born in 1974, di ba? Wala pa. Okay. Yung mga estudyante ko nga ngayon, sabi ko, when were you born? They were not yet born. So in 2 years' time, we will celebrate our 50th year. Si Justice Mendoza will celebrate his 80th year this year, Justice, no? No, you are class 57. And incidentally, Justice Mendoza was the chairman of the board, huh? The equivalent, the top man, the top honcho of his law journal. But I think you are celebrating your 90th year this year. Okay, so the what we have here today spans so many years, and then I think this is appropriate because ang message ni Dean at message ng dalawang editors natin is continuity, no, continuity. Kami naman, we are already going into our 50th year. We have brought you an editor who is going to celebrate his 90th year. And we are all here to help you. Sa mga parents especially, no? The parents and the spouses and the better halves of the students here. The Philippine Law Journal is the oldest law journal in Asia. It is storied. Many chief justices come from the Philippine Law Journal, many justices of the Supreme Court, many good practitioners come from the Philippine Law Journal. So, if I may digress, kaya kanina, I think, medyo may bakapilyo ito si Rafi eh. Nung pinatake out kayo, sinabi niya to make sure na lalabas kayo ng 4 issues, di ba? Okay. And I can see the smiles of the incoming. Kasi to share a story with you, the reason the class of 74 really got involved in the Philippine Law Journal is nung 25 years ago, nung 25th anniversary namin, we had to look for a project. Now, coming here to the College of Law, nakita nyo ba yung may mga, what do you call that? Along the pathway, nakita nyo ba yung may ano dyan? Well, how do you call that? Parang tombstone. I think klase din na, I don't know who remember. Klase niyo ba, Professor Paulo? Baka klase ni Professor Jack. No. I think there were several years behind us. Kasi alam niyo sa College of Law may pasikatan. Okay. Every 25 years you are supposed to sponsor the annual reunion, and you have to give a gift to the college. So, yun, I was relieving kanina, yung along the way, I think klase ni, I don't know, basta 3 years behind us. Do you realize that wala nang room ngayon na ma-sponsor when you graduate? There is no more room that you can name after, because lahat ng rooms ay may sponsors na. Such that one of my colleagues in the law firm where I was, sabi niya, bakit hindi sponsor ang room sa restrooms? No? So that sabi niya, pag you flush the toilet, you flush it, sabi niya, may talkies pa na courtesy of. No, I brought this. Akala nyo mag-i-speech ako, ano? I brought this because this morning I went through. You have this. What do you call this? electronic, di ba? Electronic, mga ano. So I had to check because in the terms of continuity, may isang last last kwento ko na lang ito. Ah, kaya nandito si Professor Emer. Okay. But I think nagkikwento ko sa inyo is a good story about continuity. To the parents here, the claim to fame, talagang claim to fame of the Philippine Law Journal is that it is student-led. No? It is student-led. It is staffed by students who run it in the truest sense of the word. But then, magtatanong kayo, bakit may faculty advisor? Okay. Now, to make the long story short, the tradition of a faculty-run, of a student-led law journal that is really a training ground. That's why the students really call the shots. Now, what do you do if a article of a student is rejected? Okay lang, di ba? Estudyante lang. Okay. Now, I will ask Paolo and Professor Jackie, what do you do if there is a faculty member who submits an article and the students reject it? So, that is why Emer is here, because the story is true. This is a true story. Emer was a former colleague in the office of the Solicitor General. He is one of the valued assistants of then Solicitor General Florin Hilbay, now the Dean of Dean of a College of Law in the South. Okay. Now, I promised Emer that I will share this story, but I said, do not worry, I'll be constructive. And then, so the way I will tell the story is, I got from the staff now the issues of last year's board. No? They have come up with 3 issues, and they promised me that your 4th issue is now in being printed, no? Being printed. So, congratulations. And then I found out, may article si Professor Emer doon. Okay, it's about the pork barrel. You know, but some time ago, itago na lang natin kung anong volume. Ha? The board thought that an article of Emer's could not see the light. Okay, and so I did not know about it then, and then I found out from my wife and later on that he said, do you realize that the Law Journal rejected? Ano? And then I found out that hindi lang naman nag-iisa si Emer. Pero itago ko na rin kung sino yung isa pa. Because he is now a high government official. And then I tried to find out, and then I found out from Dean Deng na there were some members of the faculty up in arms. They threatened to have an alternative law journal, peer-reviewed. Okay. And then when, I think 2 years ago, nung dito na si Dean Carlo, I asked, what is this? And then I think wala si Dean ngayon, he knew that I was asking this question. But I said, no. And he said, no, don't worry, we will solve it. So I think it's a cautionary tale that I am very glad that somehow Emer's article is now part of the Law Journal. But don't worry, this problem is not only in UP. Nalaman ko when I was kind of troubled. Tinanong ko, I asked around. Now, there is another university, wag ko rin pangalanan, na may College of Law din. In fact, yun ay mas mahal. Mas mahal ang tuition. I asked him, sabi ko, blah, 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 no? We were in arbitration. He's now, my God, but he is not an alumnus, but he is married to a UP Law graduate. So, medyo may ascendancy ako ng konti, no? Sabi ko, do you have this problem? Ay, so sabi niya, Justice, why do you ask? Sabi niya. Yung pala, sa kanila, may nangyari din. It happened in the Law Journal of that high-priced, nako. Isang article ata ng Justice of the Supreme, of a former Justice of the Supreme Court, ayaw din. Ayaw din tanggapin ng Board of Editors nila. So I said, how did you do? How did you manage it? Sabi niya, Justice, sabi niya, although I am not a graduate of the School of Diplomacy, I had to exert utmost effort. Sabi ko, di ano nangyari? Sabi niya, Justice, nasabon ako. Di ba? But then, I think what I want to say is, nasabon nga, but it also all's well that ends well. So I think the challenge of continuity is to have the Philippine Law Journal continue to be a very vibrant, student-led, student-run organization. Now, having said that, that is why you have Professors Rafi and Professor Paulo there, because hindi naman kayo pababayaan. Ganon. We will always be there. So, it is in that spirit that kaming mga matatanda na nakikialam ng konti lang naman. Di ba? That's why ang makontribute namin is just to end, I think before the year is over, no? Before the year is over, we look forward to a new Philippine Law Journal room. The other distinguished Apo, si Justice Andy Reyes is not here because he belongs to the other school. No? Biro lang. We would like to see the room finished and then the Law Journal people can enjoy it. And so, in the end, I would just say congratulations to everybody, especially the parents and especially the incoming and the outgoing staff. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Justice Hardaleza, for your inspiring message. Thank you also for your continuous support to the Philippine Law Journal. May your words fuel our passion for public service, bolster honor, and the pursuit of excellence in the study of law and the legal profession. To show our gratitude to Justice Hardaleza for sharing with us his vibrant stories today, we would like to call on Faculty Advisor Professor Rafael A. Morales and the Chair of the Philippine Law Journal, Volume 96, Ms. Ranyola, and Vice Chair Mr. Robert M. Sanders Jr. to present him with our token of appreciation. Thank you, Justice Hardaleza. Before we officially end the program, we would like to call on the members of the editorial board of Volume 96 for an official photo, as well as Professor Morales. May we invite you again up here on stage. And Honorable Justice Vicente V. Mendoza for a picture opportunity. May we also request the members of the editorial board of Volume 95 to be on standby. May we request the editorial board of Volume 95 to join them up on stage. And the chair of Volume 94, Mr. Paulo Yusi. May we also invite the law faculty to join them up here on stage for a photo opportunity. May we also invite the members of the family of Justice Reyes also up here on stage. Thank you very much and congratulations again to PLJ Volumes 95 and 96. Let us give them a warm round of applause. As our program comes to a close, we would like to thank everyone for their presence here today. To our keynote speakers, our guest speakers, our attendees, thank you for celebrating both the induction and the historic institution that gathered all of us here today. Congratulations again to the editorial board, and we look forward to seeing you uphold the high standards of excellence that guided the journal over the past century. To officially end our program, let us welcome back the UP Law Charivari to lead us in the singing of UP Naming Mahal. Thank you, UP Law Charivari. Thank you to all our guests. And we would also like to thank all those who helped out to make this event a success. Communications Group led by Attorney Martin Esguerta, Information and Publication Division headed by Professor Michael Tew, Information and Communication Technology Office headed by Professor Emerson Banez, Maintenance Office, Ms. Army and Ms. Norma, Editorial Assistants, and Photographer Richmond On, and UP Law Charivari. To all our esteemed guests, our attendees, thank you for gracing our event today. Have a good day to you all. May we also invite everyone to join us for a lunch at the Ambion Room.